that kind of music, it could really go places, huh? Good morning. How is everyone? Wait a minute. Where's my presentation? Oh, I forgot. I left my presentation in the mobile cloud. Hold on for a second. You can't see this. It's echolocation from my iris. Not that one. No, not a video email from my daughter right now. Oh, that's it. Okay. Let's download that one. Web 2.0. Great. So, do you have that application, by the way? Anybody have that application yet? The mobile cloud application? I hear it may be available at the Exchange soon. Anyway, I'm going to give you an overview of what I think is going to come next for Web 2.0, how it may relate to telecom. Of course, those of you who have maybe seen me before or even read about some of my heresies, I've talked about VoIP for a long time, back when the whole notion of anything traveling over an IP network was a bit of heresy. And then as we made the evolution from copper to the web, the issues of what may be coming next in other kinds of platforms, post-Wi-Fi, even post-WiMAX, represents a very new way to think about business, not technology, a new way to think about business, doing business. If you're interested in your own sustainability for the future, you want to pay attention to this, not as a technological innovation, but as a global business innovation. I run a think tank in San Francisco. I write books. I'm focused on one thing and one thing only: what's coming next. Founded in 1990, we're all about forecasting what are the leading innovations that might transform business, markets, and society. What can we learn about what's coming over the top of the mountain that may help you become more successful in what you do? What do we need to understand about 10 vertical markets that we could then turn into markets, global markets, markets in our geography that we could then collaborate with others to figure out how to not just make money but serve? That is the ticket to your sustainability. Why? Because as we move towards Web 3.0, which I forecast is north of, in and around 2010 and beyond, you're talking about a very fast, robust, interoperable set of platforms. Voice is going to be critical to that. You're going to be looking at telepresence. I don't want to just see it. I want to engage in it. I want to feel it, engage in it. I want to travel through it. I can say that telereality, telepresence, 3D, that a variety of other applications will show up that will give a rich user experience. Are you going to help me do that? Or do you think that Web 2.0 is about, social networking and 15-year-olds on Facebook downloading videos that don't make any sense? Are you going to help enable the next generation of entrepreneurs? The next emergence of the middle class in India, Europe, Africa, Asia? Are you going to enable that? Because I can tell you right now, having just 2 weeks ago I was in Istanbul, a month and a half ago I was in Asia, I'm on my way to Europe and North Africa, I can tell you that's what's happening. That's the key driver. And Web 2.0 is going to play a role in this explosion. And this media ecosystem is emerging now. Imagine always-on products, always on. This water will let me know if it's mine, identity management. It may be able to download nutraceutical biological information packets that will be good for me based on my genomic footprint that's logged in the cloud, of course. To be able to let me know if it is optimized for me, and if so, will it enable me? And the plastic, of course, I'll have a choice. I can interact with this always-on product to be able to let it know, are you ecologically sound? Are you being taken care of? Now, you may say, gee, God, that sounds stupid. Why would you want to do that? Well, you look at the economics. Look at how 90% of consumers in the U.S. and Europe view themselves as green consumers. Certainly, green sustainability is one of the key drivers now of business, as we all know. This represents, this business of the plastic, the labeling, the water, represents a couple $1 billion business. And when you look at the larger frame of that, nutraceuticals, life extension, the fastest growing part of the medical marketplace is life extension, longevity, sciences, what's happening next. All of a sudden, this becomes kind of interesting if this was aware, alive. And those companies that are out in front of that next innovation or those innovations that are enabling their customers for the future will be able to maximize profitability and perhaps even more sustainability. So let's talk about Web 2.0, 3.0, and on. And my key theme for those of you who think you're at a technology meeting only is it's about business. It's about society. It's about the transformation and the emergence of a global innovation economy. That is everything we've been talking about in terms of the internet for only about, 20 years. You're going to hear more about the enterprise-sized applications, but just let's look around the room. How many folks in their organization right now have a wiki? Or using wikis to generate new ideas? Look around the room. This is our survey. I would say there's probably less than a fifth. I'm going to give you a sense of where the markets are, where they're going to come from. It's going to be a $200 to $300 billion marketplace. And I can tell you, we're in the earliest stages of this. What I'm going to do is give you a sense of what's next in the innovation economy. I'm going to break down what some of the key markets are, where they're going. Now, some of these markets are going to seem strange to you. You may be in gaming and you're not in healthcare. Or maybe you're not interested yet in security or mobile entertainment, but maybe you should. Some of these markets are going to seem bizarre to you. But I would say that, quite frankly, having been in the game for about 30 years, I was on the original Apple Mac team. Anybody part of that gang? Yeah, going back to that. In 1970 and 1980, we had an idea about bringing out a new computer. Those that adapt fast enough and innovate are going to be the ones that are going to be out in front with the solutions. Those that don't adapt fast enough are going to die. You're starting to see a lot of that emerge right now. And what I mean by the innovation economy really is this fusion of technology. We don't have a good understanding of this, so I've been, in my institute's been kind of shaping models to try to understand how innovation is creating not just personal wealth, how innovation is creating competitive advantage and growing new markets, but also what does this mean in terms of creating entirely new businesses that have never even been conceptualized before. And what does it mean in terms of business, in terms of how you need to be able to, how you need to change to get ready for this onslaught of new emerging demands that are going to come from the marketplace. It's the bits, atoms, neurons, and genes. These are the new building blocks of not just the next level of science, but the next economy, the next industries, where the jobs are going to come from, where the applications and products are going to come from. And some of them are starting to produce tremendous opportunity today, but let me drill down a little bit more on them. And the question is, how agile is your organization to be able to take advantage of this environment? Will you be ready? Will you be ready? What will it look like to become what we call future ready to do this? Well, let's take a look at some of these future global innovation markets, because each one of them represents a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, certainly key uptrends that we at the Institute for Global Futures focus on, we've done research on for different clients, but each one may represent either a confirmation for you on your existing strategy, or maybe even, quite frankly, an opportunity to examine an uptrend in an area that you hadn't looked at before. The first principle certainly is that consumer lifestyles are going to shape future trends. The more you understand how consumers are living differently, how they're operating differently, what their needs and expectations are for this, the better you're going to be at being able to adapt or, in many regards, predict what's coming next. Let's drill down on some of these areas. Certainly the digital home space, we look at it as $80 billion. This is in its infancy.